You guys, it's Karen, and I'm not sitting in my usual comfy spot over there, but I just thought I would sit here and chat to you. I thought I'd do another vlog because obviously I've made the other videos private, and I'm not going to go too much into that because I'm just so bored of talking about it, and I'm sure you're bored of hearing about it. But yeah, I thought I'd put up some new material, if you like, and give you an update on the things I mentioned in that video, in case some of you didn't have time to watch it. I'm not sure how long it will last that the videos will be private. I'm still working on everything. So my finger, I don't think it's broken. You can see that the bruising has gone down. It came out really badly the following day and was very purple here. But it's, you can see compared to that one, it's definitely a different colour, and it is bruised all the way down, but it's definitely not broken. I can almost put it right the way down, the same as the rest of the fingers. I can lift it up, it's not bent out of shape, so I think it is just bruised, thankfully. So yeah, I'm happy that I didn't have to do anything with that. My nails are an absolute disaster at the moment. I've tried so many things with nails. Gel is probably the best thing, but it's not great for strength. It's a lot more strength than if you've got just your natural nail. Of course it does give it strength, but it's not strength enough like acrylic or like to put tips on, you know. So I've been trying the Chiara Sky dip system, but that just seems to kind of crack and peel on me, as I know a few other people have experienced that as well. And I was never trained in the acrylics. When I did nails, I wasn't trained in acrylics, and so I can't do that. I have tried it, but you have to get the exact amount of powder and liquid and get it in a sort of ball that you sort of make into a dough. It's really bizarre, and I can't do that. But I've been trying now a mix of gel and acrylic, and that's just peeled off my nails last night. And I must admit, sit and pick the rest of it off, because when one bit comes off, it then catches. Even if if I'm washing my hair, it will catch in my hair, or catches on clothes, you know. So I sat and picked it and filed it and whatnot. So I've got it on my list to do my nails today, to sort them out. And I think I'm going to do the Chiara Sky dip in black and see how I get on with that, because I've tried the French manicure before. Oh, that was an update, by the way, in case you didn't see the other one, on me slamming my finger in the car door. So that's that. Then I showed you, there's pictures on my Patreon site of my brother's car accident. It looks crazy, doesn't it? And it's just amazing to me that he is absolutely fine. He's not in hospital anymore. I think he went for a small amount of time. He's just shaken by it. And his friend is okay as well. I said his friend had been in the accident and was in hospital, but I think he's still in hospital, but he's stable and going to be fine. So it's amazing. I don't know the full details of the accident. They were hit in the rear, so I'm not sure how that made it so that they had to be cut out, but there you go. So he's feeling very lucky at the moment. I haven't found anything more out about my mum. That's kind of my fault. I had thought I'd sent my sister an email, but it was actually sitting in my drafts and I hadn't sent it. But then in the meantime, she's emailed me, but I need to actually ask her specifically about my mum, because we were emailing about something else. So I'm going to ask her today and hopefully find out what's going on there. Family stuff going on that I can't really update you on, but that's just, like I said, keep me in your thoughts. And I think that's pretty much it for what I updated you on that last video. I've had a couple of questions from people on YouTube mostly about, am I growing my hair? And I'm not sure what to do. But I was looking at it in the viewfinder there and thinking, it does look like I'm growing out my hair, doesn't it? Because I don't know whether just the last couple of haircuts I've not had as much cut off, but it is actually already quite long. And when I watched the old videos of me with long hair, I was thinking, oh, I really want my hair long again. But now that it's getting sort of a bit long, I'm like, oh, I really want it cut short again. And I never know what to do with my hair. I'm never happy, am I? We're never happy one way or the other. So I don't know, I need to have a think about it. I can't really afford a £50 haircut at the moment. And I did think, well, I could have a look at Groupons, you know, because I have used Groupon before, but you never know what you're going to get with a Groupon. And so I think I'd rather like miss a haircut and wait and go to the woman that I know, that I like how she cuts my hair, and you know, that kind of thing. But I don't know, if I'm going to grow it out, then it doesn't really matter, because I only need to have the ends trimmed, you know, and that will make it feel healthy again. But I know that sort of middle stage is not great, because when it gets sort of long down to my boobs, I'd have it sort of shaped up again, as I did before. And the other thing I wanted to look into was curling my hair, because when it was long, I did really like it when it was curly, because it gave it volume. And so I want to find out if there's any way of getting your hair permed, or the way that we used to, but not quite so tight, you know, more in sort of loose curls, or if there's an easier way to curl my hair. But I don't think there will be an easier way. A few people have mentioned tools, like there's one that you put your hair in it and hold it and it curls it for you. But that one, I've tried it, I can't remember the name of it. You sort of clamp it down and it whizzes the hair through it, but you need to put the tiniest amount in, and honestly I can't tell you how thick my hair is, and it would take me a long time to use that machine. That was a bit random, I know, what's going on with my hair, but I wanted to come and tell you guys about a possible job that I'm going to apply for it. If I was lucky enough to get an interview, I would definitely go for it, and then I would see what it was all about. But if it's as good as it sounds, then it may be the very thing I've been looking for. The thought of working full-time again outside of the house absolutely terrifies me, because I've now been redundant for 1.5 years and I was working from home for 1 year. So it would be 2.5 years I haven't worked in that kind of office environment. Well, I suppose when I was working from home I did go into meetings and things. But still, it's going to be, you know, 1 year to 2 years since being in that environment. But this doesn't sound like it's actually even based in an office. I can't quite work it out, and I'm going to do my job description, job application later on today. And I was chatting to Kev about it last night and saying, I don't know if I even want to go back to work, but I know that I'd certainly like the income. I wouldn't like to go back full time. I'd like to go back part time. And Kev is happy whether I work or don't work. Actually, he was saying, you know, I'm quite happy for you being at home looking after Watson, but if you want to work part-time, that's absolutely fine. There just doesn't seem to be many opportunities in part-time work. I think that you're more likely to get part-time work from having a job and then requesting part-time hours. Certainly it worked like that in the NHS. So anyway, I was talking about this job, and it is training and monitoring and managing volunteers that socialise puppies for that are going to be dogs for the blind. And I read it and I thought, that sounds wonderful. I was like, oh my goodness, can you imagine working with puppies? Now, you're not actually working with the puppies yourself, because it's not a job where you'd be training the puppies. It's the job where you'd be being a support for the volunteers that are socialising the puppies, making sure the puppies were doing well, helping out the owners with any issues. And I just thought, oh, they're obviously they're going to be paying a huge amount, and they're looking for somebody that's hugely qualified. So I had a look at the job description and started reading it, and I was like, oh my goodness, so far it sounds like I've got the experience they're looking for, because what they're looking for is experience with managing a team, which of course I have. But it's also looking for experience with dogs and experience with puppies preferred, and some sort of knowledge or experience in dog behaviour would be desirable. And I just thought, wow, I was really surprised. The pay is not good at all, but I don't really care about that. You know, like I said at the beginning of the year, this year is about me trying to see where I fit in the world, if you like. You know, is that doing a full-time job, a part-time job? Is it concentrating on YouTube? What is it, you know? So I'm not really worried about the money, but I just am so surprised that they're not looking for, you know, a graduate that's got a degree in dog psychology or something like that. So I did do a course in dog behaviour, a very small course, but I did I did a course in dog behaviour, one of these online courses, and I did that because I wanted to just sort of understand dogs more myself. And it was before I did the grooming one, and I also thought that it would be useful when I was doing the grooming, when I was thinking about the grooming, I thought that would be a great one to have, and it's something I've always been interested in. So yeah, I think that I could make my experience in grooming work as my experience of, you know, puppies and dogs. Because it's a regional manager, that's why I don't think it's based anywhere, because they don't have an office anywhere near me here. I can't even see an office in Scotland, so I suspect it is just driving between houses of the people that have these puppies, and then working on, I think you've got to advertise, you've got to recruit new people, so it'll be going to people's homes, I would think, which would just be ideal. So I don't know how that would work in with Watson. I don't know what the hours would be, of course, and if it would be considered acceptable to take Watson with me, how much I'd want to take him with me. I don't know that I'd want him just sitting in a car all day. You know, he'd need to get a walk, of course, in between that. And if it would even be appropriate to bring him in to a situation where there was puppies, but I would think it would, as long as Watson is not an aggressive dog, which he's not, then that's more socialization for the puppy. So yeah, it's just something that I'm applying for. It's not something that I've got my hopes up or I really want, or I don't really know one way or the other. But the great thing about jobs is you apply for them, and if you get an interview, it's like, okay, this is the next stage. Let me see what I think about this. Let me go for the interview, see what they think about me. Am I even suited for the role? Let's see what I think about the job and take it from there. But even if I didn't get an interview, it's just showed me and kind of lifted me in that there are potential possibilities out there that I can do that can combine my skills that I already have, i.e. management, and my love of dogs, because that's what I was reading a book, I can't even remember which book, or listening to a video or something that's, you know, a book, and I was either listening or reading it, and it was saying, what does your heart want to do work-wise? And I was thinking, what my heart wants to do is to save animals, and of course especially dogs, but animals in general, from suffering. If I could just stop suffering, right? If I could do anything to stop suffering, that's what I'd like to do. And I was that's what I've been thinking of when I've been doing my grooming videos, which, like I said, everybody's really receiving well. And I thought, well, that's great, because in these videos I can really keep on reminding people, you know, when you're doing the ear, hold it here, check the ear so that they don't cut the dog. And I know these are only minor things, but you know, every little helps in making a dog's life more comfortable. And if I can maybe help people to groom their dogs and make it more comfortable and more pleasant and less scary for the dog, then I'm helping. And so this would be a way I could do that, you know, it would be a way I could fulfill that. So it's interesting, really interesting. So I thought I'd come and tell you guys about it. I really just wanted to come on and do an update video because there wasn't one there. You know, I wanted there to be some material there that wasn't private. I have got a busy day today. Watson is going with the walk in half an hour, so in 5 minutes when I'm transferring this over, I'm going to go and do some window training with him. Oh, we got our new sofas yesterday as well. I forgot to tell you about that. We've got, oh no, I didn't. I told you about that yesterday. I put a video up on that. What am I talking about? I've already showed you the new sofas. Watson's not that keen, or he wasn't last night. He didn't go on them at all. But this morning he jumped up and snuggled next to me. So I'm happy with that. I didn't have quite as much room to do my makeup, but you know, these are just little silly things to moan about, aren't they? Kevin and I were actually talking about the living room yesterday, and a few things we're going to try and do. We might try and get a corner unit in the place where there's all those horrible plugs that I cover with cushions. It's ridiculous, but we don't really know what else to do to make it look nice in that corner. So in fact, I'm going to write it down, a corner unit, because I need to investigate and see if I can get one with the right dimension. Once I finish filming, I'm going to go through and do some window training with Watson, and I'm then, when the walker picks him up, I'm going to head out. I'm going to have a look at, I'm doing the usual groceries that I do on a Thursday, like at the Indian for the weekend and whatnot, and I'm going to look at the Lottie London lipsticks, if I can find them in a Superdrug. Somebody told me that Lottie London has some liquid lipsticks out. It was on the video talking about this Barry M lipstick that I really enjoy, so that would be interesting to see, because the Barry M has only got 3 colours out in their lip kits. So I'm going to do that, then I'll come back here and do my nails, sort my nails out, try and do some editing of some videos. I don't think I've got anything else scheduled on YouTube. Or maybe I have, maybe I've got a Desi M haul coming up actually. Yeah, perhaps I've got another Desi M haul coming up. And I've just recorded a video on this as well. The Drops of Youth, really good. Youth liquid peel, really good. So that's everything. Thank you very much for watching today. I hope that you are all well. Thank you again for all your support and for sticking with me through these troubled times. And I will speak to you again soon.